right, hello and welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We are playing Alien tonight, continuing our marine chapter. Things got a little strange last time as people started stabbing each other. Friendly fire, all that kind of stuff. I put all these things in the system to kill them, and they're just going to beat me to it by killing themselves. So, yeah, there's that. We've been off for about a month, I think, because I think we missed a session, so it's been like 4 weeks for us because the holidays and whatnot. So we'll dive back in and do like a thorough review of what we missed. And plus, we were missing a Jen last time too, so we should talk about what her new character is since everyone killed Ripper last time. So lots of things to concern ourselves with. But why don't we go ahead and just go around, introduce who everybody is playing, and if you have something you feel like plugging, go right ahead and do that as well. We are going to start with, the now undisputed commander of the mission, as we lost someone last time. So it's Master Sergeant Barrett. Tell us about her, Melissa.
That's me. Yes, I kept forgetting that I wasn't in charge, and then we got rid of that person, and so now I'm in charge. So I am the Master Sergeant. I don't like when people can't make little decisions on their own. And we had fun stabbing each other last time, and yeah, we are out in the middle of nowhere in some trouble, and we'll see how the stress rolls go, because generally when I roll stress I hide under things or like
That's true.
Leadership like things.
It's pretty canon that the leadership of the party run away in situations where danger is involved. Yeah, and it tends to work out pretty well. And the minute you decided not to do that, things just went really south. Do you still do the dog tag things? Because I remember your character, wasn't your character collecting dogs? It was like your stress for that special item or something like that?
Yeah, yes, I have all the dog tags.
You gonna collect Theo Ellis's as your big dog on a leash? Killed him last time, so
that's one description of Claymore.
Yeah.
It's pretty fair.
So speaking of now the undisputed number 2 on the mission, number 2 is Chuck. Chuck, tell us about your character.
Yeah, I am playing the Marine formerly known as Koenig. As much as it pains me to say, I do regret all the stabbings last session. I would never think like stabbing is always a good thing, but maybe not in this instance. Maybe.
Yeah. It might have been some consequences that might come into play at some point. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Nothing to really worry ourselves about. Do you have a what's your special item that you use for like stress relief? I don't even remember.
It's like the fang off of that creature that killed the old squad that I was on, and I was the survivor. Gotcha. So I got its little tooth thing.
Okay. Do you like wear it like as a necklace or something?
Yeah, probably hanging on the same chain as my tags. Yeah.
Fair enough.
So shocked that it's not your wedding ring.
No, that inflicts stress. Yeah, I see it.
It's a laminated copy of your divorce papers.
That's it.
I mean, if you ever need dice, you just get out the one ring, right?
Uh-oh. Yeah. Uh-oh. Well, it's the same company. It's all good. We're good. And that voice that you just heard is now the undisputed number 3 on the team, and she's back. As she was hanging out the entire last time, taking a nap in the crew quarters for the last session. So Jen, tell us about Ripper and yourself.
Totally accurate there. I am playing Sergeant Zoe Ripper. She is the magician, the wizard, the orchestrator of circuitry. She sucks. But yeah, sometimes, you need to press that button and suddenly I am able to do just that. So I saved the day after a bunch of terrible rolls. My signature item is a picture of a colonist I saved. And that is how I got my Marine Accommodation Medal.
Oh, okay. Do you keep in touch with that colonist you saved, or is it just like whatever?
I mean, we're pen pals.
Okay, all right. It's like a Newt situation going on here. Okay.
Yeah, we don't hear from each other because we're so many light
Yeah.
years away, but it's like long distance pen pals.
Yeah. But in the comics, I guess
Honestly-
things didn't work out well for Newt, so not really.
Yeah.
She had a
Taking
rough
a
time.
nap was a really safe plan for last episode, actually.
Yes. That was
It
the
sure
safest thing
seemed
you
like
could
it.
possibly do. Yeah. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Until you guys go into the crew quarters and there's just like blood everywhere. It's just,
Aw.
what happened in here? Kona got the
Terrible
stabbing.
nightmare.
At one point, there was a plan, and I don't think this ever was carried out, for Claymore to go start stabbing people. So, like, I think there was a discussion that Claymore was going to go to the crew quarters and just go stab like Dawson and Hutch and everything and Ripper, just to make sure everyone was okay. That was a floated plan at one point, but I don't think we followed it.
Thank God nobody asked him to do that. Or thank God
Yeah.
Mama Bear didn't ask him to do it.
Yeah.
There's still time.
And then
It's true.
bottom row. Yeah, there is still time. I also thought it was really sneaky how like Koenig and Spuds like waited for Claymore to go, like got Claymore to go do something else. Like he was like,
No, yeah.
yeah, before you stab Barrett. Because if Claymore was around when you tried to stab Barrett, that wouldn't have gone well.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that was very, very shady. Very smart though.
Good planning.
That's
Correct.
definitely officer material. You know, right there. All right, bottom row. We've got Adam. Adam, tell us about Abbott.
Hello, I'm playing Abbott, the artificial person corpsman, and his signature item is Claymore.
Aw, that's so adorable. Really enjoy the buddy cop.
Yes, he's got quite the drive or some form of subroutine or something like that that compels him to try and impress Claymore, making their friendship even better.
Mm.
Jeremy, has Claymore softened his stance towards Abbott at all? Like throughout the course of like the missions, has he like lightened up a little bit? You know.
No. I think he clearly told Abbott, "I'm really disappointed that I didn't break your face when I had a good excuse to."
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
That's what we call progress.
You know, there might be
Mhm.
opportunities to come still. Don't worry, Claymore. I don't know. Things are going strange. Okay. Then we have Spuds. Matt, tell us about your two-armed character.
What? Hey, don't jinx it. It's Corporal Spuds McCann, Donald Spuds McKenzie. He's the eyes and the ears of this here outfit, and he's gonna keep us all safe, except for stabbings. I'm not gonna have both my arms anymore. But yeah, he's Fort Observer, kind of leads the charge, especially with the cowardly Master Sergeant hangs back in every situation. He's starting to kind of question this, but he's
Not
following
every
orders for now.
situation, though. Not
That's true.
everyone.
That's true. What I got going on over on Garblade Games this week? We're gonna kick off Actun Cthulhu, the Romanian Imperative, on Thursday night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Very cool. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And finally, speaking of Romanians, we got Jeremy. I don't know. Claymore kind of sounds Romanian. I don't know.
I don't know.
Probably a little Romanian in Arnold. I'm not sure.
Probably.
Maybe.
I mean,
Who
it's a Heinz 57 at that point. It all
really.
got thrown in the vat. He's a test tube
Yeah.
baby.
He is.
Yeah.
Uh,
Good
yeah,
playing
tell-
Corporal. Oh, sorry, but that's
No, tell us.
Heckler W. Claymore. I like to wrestle with robots whenever they malfunction. Actually, don't like it, but I kind of do, but I'm never going to admit it. And then also, I learned that there's a very special thing about being the power bottom. It's kind of like playing presidents and assholes. The person on the bottom can take out the person on the top. But I didn't mean to tase the bro, but it happened, and now he's dead, and I feel really bad. But Mama Bear is number one, and that's great.
Yeah.
The ends clearly justify the means.
Yep. Yeah.
He felt guilty for like this long until somebody did mention now Mama Bear's in charge, and just
Mhm.
Conscience cleared.
Ends justify the means, right? Yeah, there you go. Okay.
As long as
And it's
good
not
for
like
her,
that
it's
guy
good
has
for me.
done anything anyway, right? All right. Let's get started, I guess. Then, so the big picture stuff is that you guys are on a mission to both locate the stolen USS Asteria, a military frigate that's you're kind of honing in on at this point. The problem is that it seems as though it's under the control of these renegades / malfunctioning independent synthetics that you encountered a few times now. You followed some clues and some other things, some stray signals to head trail world deep into deep space, and you made it to a uncharted system. That Null 256 is, I believe, what the synthetics has been designated as, and yeah, and you've been here not that long in game terms. In game terms, it's been like maybe a day and a half or so. As you arrived, you found that there was a signal coming from one of these dwarf planets out on the edge of the system. You encountered what looked like some kind of Black Ops, like Wayland Yutani vessel. Got a little lowdown, got kind of a little bit of lowdown of the entirety of the system from them. At least some of it, as they were actually attacked by the ship you're looking for, presumably the USS Asteria, when they were in some asteroid field where they had kind of come across some strange vessel, something that was in this asteroid field kind of. And as they were swooping by to investigate, that's when this frigate came out and put two in their starboard, and they snuck away and had been hiding at that dwarf planet. It was kind of a dicey, confrontational conversation, but eventually everyone went their separate ways. No one was harmed. However, when you returned to the ship, shortly thereafter, strange events began to happen. The first thing was that one of your crew members, Private Lopez, that you had saved from Hyperdyne Moon some time ago and who had joined you to help his former Asteria crew, actually, had been attacked. And there was a fire that was started on the bridge. And in addition to that, there was like this strange sermon that was being played over the intercom of the ship. All sorts of strange indication of sabotage. So it looks like there might be a saboteur on board, possibly. Multiple systems have either failed or were damaged. You started firing missiles randomly, it seemed like, as they were just being depleted. Navigation and helm were damaged to the point where you had no more manual control. The ship was also emitting a system-wide message, and who knows if and who and how many people were able to pick that message up. So it's possible your arrival in the system is no longer a secret. Multiple people have been attacked, Lopez being one of them, but also your pilot was missing for a bit, and then eventually Koenig and Spuds found him in the weapons area, weapons storage. But he was bound there, and he claims to have been beat up. He had some wounds and things that somebody else kind of jumped him. What else? You also, as like people were kind of looking at him, he had some kind of strange rash, this kind of flaky rash that was on him that kind of just looked a little peculiar. In order to try to get the ship moving, so you weren't just like a sitting duck in the water, Claymore went up to Mother with Theo Ellis, the special agent in charge of this mission, and two entered, and one left is basically what when you go into Mother. That's what happens as Claymore accidentally killed Theo Ellis with an over eager stun baton that just like shorted out and kind of gave the guy a heart attack or something like that. Let's see what else happened. You managed to shut down that internal comms, but it seemed to have some kind of effect on Abbott. Abbott was sort of malfunctioning a little bit in a way for a short period of time, but eventually kind of got control of himself. Let's see. You kind of started splitting up here and there. I think at one point, Spuds and Koenig, I don't know exactly what they were suspecting of Master Sergeant Barrett, that maybe she was either infected or she was a synthetic. But at one point, they got Claymore to go away. and then they stabbed Barrett, and everyone started stabbing each other. Stab fest. It was a good time, but everyone bled red, so it was all good. Yeah. So then the big thing happened at the very end of the session when, as the chum bucket was kind of flying blind, I don't think we have a destination. I think we were just moving is basically the only thing we managed to get Mother to do. So you're just randomly moving somewhere in this system that you can see on the screen. But I think it was Spuds and Koenig and Barrett who were kind of going off again to explore the ship some more, kind of see if there was any more signs of some saboteur or whatever. You kind of taped up Forrester and left him in the galley. Ripper and Hutch and Dawson were hanging out inside the barracks. But Spuds, Koenig, and Barrett, you found down by the water filtration unit 2 empty urns that you had collected when you were on board that haunted, creepy relay station with the black and white goos. And it looks as though they were dumped into the water systems that feed your showers, your sinks, your toilets, your food, your water, all that kind of stuff. So we're just going to go ahead and start right there. We're just going to pick up exactly where we left off. With the 3 of you in this water filtration area. You look down, you see these canisters. What do we want to do?
Barrett's going to look over at Spuds, and she's just going to sort of, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. She's like totally waiting for the I told you so. That probably already came.
Yeah, he's like starting.
So Barrett's going to try fumbling for some sort of like reverse button or something to try to stop the processing of
reverse button? No, there's no reverse button. There's nothing like that. No, you're not even sure how long ago it was. Likely these have already kind of circulated around. So, I mean, kind of oversimplifying it, but basically like it recycles water. So wastewater is kind of recycled, goes through a filtration process, reused and reused, et cetera, et cetera. So who knows how long ago this was? No one, I think the last time someone checked in on the cargo bay, all the stuff that you found was fine, except these urns were missing. And that was sometime within the last shift. Who knows how long it was missing prior to that? This stuff could have been circulated for days, for all you know. You don't know. It could have been circulated even prior to that, while you all were in cryo. So who knows how long it's been?
Who knows, indeed. All right, so Barrett's going to get on comms to everybody, and just let them know, beware of the water supply. We've got foreign.
Your boil advisory, is that what we're giving them?
There you go.
I mean, I hate to say it, this kind of puts us dead in the water, doesn't it?
Well, I mean,
We
maybe
can't-
Ripper.
I was gonna say we can't go anywhere because I don't know about you, but I need water to survive. Was it water everywhere, and if you drink it, you're fucking dead?
Something along those lines. Ripper. Barrett will call it on comms.
Huh? What's going on, Barrett?
Rise and shine, sleepyhead.
Oh, did you command me to rise and shine?
If I need to. Wondering if you can run some extra filtration on our water supply here. We can not drink for a little bit, but we're gonna need to come back to this again. Can you run some
Extra
kind of
filtration?
double cycle?
Yeah, sure. I'll get right on that.
Okay, sure.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Ripper can head down there and meet y'all. That's fine. What else? What else are we doing? So we hang around. Ripper will be there in a moment. It's not that big of a shit. She gets there. She can get on the console and start just kind of backwash and
just-
rerunning.
Let me grab a coffee real quick.
Don't. No, did you not just hear what I said? No.
So basically, do we need to like drink our urine for a little while and then try and limp our way to the water planet? And maybe once we reach the water planet, we can like purge the system, like completely get rid of all this water, get new water, and then start fresh. So it's just a little bit of pee drinking, not like all of our lives, but probably all of our lives because we're gonna die before we get new water.
We could all go into cryo and have Abbott fly us to the pea planet.
But, what constitutes Abbott's blood?
Tapioca.
Yeah, is it
Fettuccine Alfredo has always been my canon, personal
Okay.
canon. It's some kind of I don't know. I always treated it some sort of. I think of it like almost like water cooling, like for a computer, like advanced water cooling for a computer. So it's some kind of lubricant or whatever. I guess. I would imagine that that's probably not something you have to refill water on, but I would,
also
I would-
not something you'd want to
yeah.
drink?
Oh, most certainly. I would think absolutely not. No, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, cryo, just so you know, would tap into the water systems on the ship. Just so you know.
So, infected and frozen, infected
And awake.
and awake. I mean, I guess the first thing we got to do is see if there's a way if we can figure out if we're even infected yet. I mean, if we're already infected, who cares? Drink it up. It's not like it can do any worse to us, right?
Well,
Well, maybe there's a cure. Not death toll.
kind of. If you're
Okay.
already drunk, it would hurt you to drink more. It all depends on the circumstances of everything. So, yes, I would have to argue with your logic on that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
the robot speaks sense. Listen to him.
Can we do
However-
some sort of like observation in this room just to check on the urge
Check
being
on what?
spilled or just anything, any kind of, because we have some sort of saboteur and we don't
Okay.
really have any idea
Yeah.
as to what.
Yeah,
we're-
three of you can roll up. Yeah, if you want, roll observation. Ripper, you head over to the galley, get your coffee. As you go in there, you notice
Do not.
you notice duct taped to the table is your pilot, who looks at you wide-eyed as you come in, and like, Sergeant, could you let me out, please? I think they forgot about me. He's got like a
What?
busted face. He's got blood matted on his hat and his head, all that kind of stuff. Like he's
This
gotten a
looks
bad
like,
fight.
Interrogation methods. Hold on. I'm gonna put my coffee down.
I could really go for a cup too, please, if you don't mind. If there's any left.
No, sorry. We're out. This is the last cup.
It's okay. I'll just make some more. It's fine.
You just stay right there. Let me find
Ma'am?
out what's going on. We'll be back.
Ma'am, I can come with you. It
Here.
might not be good to go anywhere by yourself on the ship.
I'm Ripper. Are you kidding me? I'll go wherever I damn well please.
Okay. And as you're wandering around, he's like, well, maybe you could come over and rip the damn tape off. But, I mean, whatever.
And I didn't hear that as I walk out the door.
Okay. Okay. How'd those observation tests go?
Varric got 1.
Okay. Spuds.
I got 2.
Yeah, Spuds with the 2 successes. You notice that there is a vent cover that has been dislodged and relodged. You can tell that it's kind of a little bit off scans when you look at it more closely. Like the screws aren't they're not reattached and they're like on the ground somewhere. It's like someone hastily covered it up.
And refresh my memory. We've seen vents moved already, didn't we? Previously in other rooms, or no?
Yeah, in
Okay.
the weapons locker. Yeah, in the weapons area. Not the weapons locker, but the weapons storage, where you found Forrester. Yeah.
Okay. I'll point out that. What do y'all make of this? Perhaps we should close them vents. block them all up, because the culprit is using them to get around.
Or we go into them and find the culprit.
I
Can't
like
just
that
keep hiding
idea.
from
That
person.
seems rather dangerous. You want to lead the way?
Absolutely.
Right behind you.
Oh,
Okay. Barrett and Koenig, you dive into the, and it's crawl. No problem. Spuds, do you follow?
reluctantly.
Okay.
I don't know. Did they order me to go in there? I don't know.
Didn't sound like it.
All right,
Consider
I'll
yourself
shrug.
ordered.
Shrug. Take a seat. Oh, okay. If I'm ordered, then yeah, I'll
All
go.
right. Okay.
Barrett just turns around and is like, what the hell are you doing?
All right. The three of you clamber into the vents. Ripper, you're on your way actually down to the filtration system to try to do a backwash and run it again. Abbott and Claymore. Let's check in with you guys. Last we saw the two of you, you were in the med bay, and there are two bodies in the med bay. One is living, Lopez, and the other, remember Lopez was attacked, and you found his body unconscious. He was alive, but upon inspection, you did notice kind of a strange, flaky rash forming on his skin, and you kind of messed with it a little bit. It kind of threw dust up into the air a bit. But both of you are there, and there's also the body of Theo Ellis, who is dead. And Claymore, you, and I think Abbott confirmed this upon inspection, you saw at one point there was like like black worms or something floating around in his eyes.
Mm-hmm. I think we got to the point where he took one as a sample.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Right.
Yeah. And now, I think it was a matter of you would need, in order to kind of learn anything more, you would probably have to do like a longer, like a longer study, like a shift long, kind of run it through a battery, a test type of things. It's probably nothing you can get done in like a couple minutes. It probably would be something you would want to dedicate more time to. But you might be able to get something out of it if you did dedicate that time.
Claymore, I recommend that we take the body, we put it in a quarantine of sorts.
What kind of do we have a quarantine that'll keep teeny tiny little worms from wiggling out?
Well, we have a quarantine that will keep airborne sicknesses out. So yes, I do believe that teeny tiny wiggling worms would be bigger than airborne sicknesses.
He looks at you as if he's distrusting what you're saying, but he'll nod.
So is there some form of like containment, like room for quarantine in case of like some sort of sickness? Or
you probably don't have like anything official since it's not a med or a science ship, but you could probably make it happen. You can probably create a room on the ship to serve as like kind of a quarantine area if you wanted to. Yeah, I think so.
Either that or just some place to put a body that, since it is a dead body, that would be sealed up.
So if we don't have an actual place like that, and we know, or at least we can pretty fairly assume there's a saboteur on board. I love the idea of science. That's a lie. Fuck science, except for Mama Bear likes bringing things back, and that's great. But she also likes to keep a team alive. And I think if we leave this in a room, some asshole is going to come in and poke the eye and let the wiggly worms crawl over the ship. I think we should burn it.
So you believe in incineration to solve this problem?
Points at the flamethrower he brought on his back.
Well, you do believe it was sabotage?
I don't know. Maybe one of those weird spider toasters hopped off the one ship onto our ship, and it just clung there, and then it waited till the right time to strike. Or maybe somebody in the ship's an asshole.
I would say that the second is more of a possibility in this one particular case. Although those spider bread toasters are equally devious. Very well. I do believe that incineration would be a good idea.
All right then.
Although I would be worried about breathing in any of the smoke that would come off of the body. In case it does become airborne.
Did we do this before, or am I having deja vu? Did we do like a furnace burning at some point? Does this sound
thought
familiar
we
to anybody?
agreed to burn it
I-
at one point.
I think
Okay.
so. Yeah,
I think Alice's body specifically, right?
Okay.
Because Lopez is still
Yeah.
alive, so I don't think you'd burn him. Okay.
Okay. No.
I'm pretty
so-
sure that got done because we were.
Okay,
already
yeah.
in
So
that
we'll say then that Ellis. That's right, because you took the sample and then you burned it, and then we had to talk
Okay.
about whether there was a furnace on it and stuff like that. Okay. So
Sorry.
yeah. So no, it's fine. So we'll say that that's happened. But if you're looking for like a quarantine, I just looked at like the rooms on your ship. Probably one of the you have like 4 different cargo rooms. You could probably make one of them into a quarantined area. That would probably be the most likely, the least, and it would be the least invasive.
We do know that something is ailing Lopez, and it's something that I have never seen before. So I would recommend assuming that it is contagious. Because if we assume the otherwise, that could lead to further problems. This stems the amount of problems that would come from locking someone in a room by themselves.
Really hate it when you say sensible things. Fucks with my head.
I'm sorry. Listen, all y'all, this is a sabotage.
Everyone who heard that, take 1 stress.
Uh,
All right. So the 2 of you are gonna bring Lopez down and create a quarantine section in one of the cargo bays. Is that fair? Is that what you guys are doing?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll say that's what's happening with you 2. Ripper, you make it down to the water filtration area and you see that nobody's there. They left. It's just you.
Well, I'm gonna go over the comms. Where are we? What's going on? I heard something about backwash.
Yes. Can you find a way to clear out whatever was dumped into the water system and get it cleared out? Do some
Sure.
testing of the water, get those particulates down, and
Somebody not feeling
clear.
good? What happened here?
Do you remember the urns?
Oh, yeah, the goo.
Yeah, well, that's in the water now. So
Gotta
need to get
collect
it
them
out.
all. Yeah.
Yes.
Didn't I
gotta-
tell you? Didn't I tell you?
I
This is what happens when I sleep.
well. Now that you're awake, please. Do
I
what you
mean, quarantine equals airlocks, right? Is that where that guy's going?
can. That's for Abbott and Claymore to take care of. We noticed that there was some adjustment to the vents, so we are going to try to find whoever's doing this.
I mean, like a kid in the vents? I mean, this would be a pretty small person, wouldn't it?
Well, we're all in the vents, so I think it could be a person of whatever size.
Hmm.
Keep me apprised of your progress.
Oh, all right, but no, seriously, airlocks. Those are really good places to keep people.
That's a fair point. We're gonna be heading out on the vents if you want
Well-
to share that feedback with Abbott and Claymore.
Hey, all right. Open the comms harder.
Okay.
You guys taking them to the airlock, right? Is this thing on?
That's to you,
Yes.
Abbott and Claymore. Yeah.
Yes. Hello, Sergeant Zoe Ripper.
Where are you taking them to a containment area? What's going on?
We are making one of the storage rooms into a quarantine for Lopez.
You mean airlock? Here,
Would not-
airlocks are real good about this time of year.
I would not want to put Lopez out of an airlock, for he is still breathing.
I mean, relative. All right. All right. Let's get working on this backwash system. whatever
that
you guys messed up.
Although that may have been a good idea for forgetting the name of the person we just burnt.
Yeah, Ellis.
Ellis.
I do want to point out, by the way, all that you see on Lopez, he's got a rash. That's it. Like that's all it is. He's got like like dry skin. That's all it is on the back of his neck.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Fine.
Yes.
Gluten
Whether that
allergy?
means something.
No.
No, it is not.
just
a gluten
doesn't
allergy.
lotion.
Gluten allergies don't normally have black protrusions from rashes.
All right.
Alright.
So anyway, let's cut over to the vent crew as you're moving through the vents and you're looking for signs of anything. Now it's tight spaces. These aren't like these huge vents. Plus, you guys are all bulked up in your suits, got your weapons. I'm presuming as you're moving through. The three of you go ahead and make a mobility roll.
That's a 2 for Barrett.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Don't say that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I have to seek cover.
Okay.
You're in the middle of us.
You're in the middle of the human centipede, and the vent is just too. It's claustrophobia.
Freaking out, man.
Yeah.
I just start going backwards. Not enough room for me to turn around. I just start.
Koenig, what's going? Hey, you're kicking me in the face.
Oh, move faster, damn it! It's too tight in here.
I'm following you.
Can't breathe.
All right, I'll start shuffling backwards, I guess.
Okay. Up ahead, Barrett. You with your 2 mobility, you keep moving. Koenig, Spuds are separated. Look back, and like you're just moving forward. You get a surge of adrenaline in you, and you climb. You climb horizontal for a bit, then you start climbing vertical, and you get up towards where the air scrubbers are. And you can see that there's some sort of steam or smoke coming out. You hear sounds, kind of, and vibrations a bit. And not so much hear the sounds as much as the vibrations more than anything else. And that's when you notice there is one of those strange, like spider-shaped synthetics that seems to be attached onto the side of one of your air scrubbers that runs through like vertically through your ship, and you can see it seems to be ripping at various tubes and vents and trying to kind of sabotage this. And it reminds you it's got that like these kind of angly arms that are bent in all sorts of different directions, and you are in a very, very tight and enclosed space. It doesn't seem to have noticed you, however, but yeah, your other 2 have retreated from your position. What would you like to do?
So upon seeing this spider thing, I would want to, like, can I at least turn my head around just to try to gesture to the 2 behind me?
No, I think you're moving forward. Full speed ahead. He backed up, full speed behind, slammed into Spuds. Spuds having to back up. It's a logjam. You're off by yourself now, Barrett.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out if I can notice that I'm by myself. Like if I'm able to turn around enough to notice that there's not movement behind me.
Sure. You can look around, see there's no. It's more like you look down and you see there's nobody climbing up
You'd
this.
probably hear Koenig panicking, and
That's
Get me
fair.
out
Yeah,
of here. Get me
you're
out
on
of here.
comms, open comms too. Yeah.
Okay. Seeing that, then I'm going to have to shimmy my way backwards until I can find them, so that I can do some commands here.
Okay. So you're just gonna let it continue to sabotage the air scrubbers above you. Got it.
I'm gonna want
Okay,
the 3
so
of
you
us to be taking care of this together.
Okay. So you spend your turn effectively climbing back down to like the horizontal vent to try to track Koenig and Spuds down. Spuds and Koenig, you continue to sort of back out. How's that working out? Spuds, like you're the caboose of the train. Like, do you back up all the way to water filtration?
I'm assuming he's kicking me in the face to get out because he's panicking, so I'll just keep going all the way back.
Okay.
Better keep going. You're gonna have to smell what I had for dinner last night.
It says next action. So is this still going on?
We'll say that was the action. So he's seeking cover. He hasn't actually reached the cover yet. So yeah, I mean, we'll say panic. I mean, you're still kind of panicking a bit until he finds move. Yeah, you have to use your next action to move away from danger and find a safe spot if possible. Well, I mean,
did that happen last turn?
I don't know. I just feel like you haven't said anything about there being a synthetic sabotaging the air scrubber. You've calmly climbed back down, and since he's got no other reason to not continue to back up, then I'm gonna say he's just continuing to back up.
Right with this.
So when I get to the horizontal, can I then say something?
You can say something at any point. You're on comms. Like you're not speaking verbally to everyone's suited up, I think, at this point,
Yeah.
right? I think
Like-
that was the idea. It's like everyone's suited up. So
Yeah.
you're all
And I
speaking
wouldn't
through to
necessarily
comms.
have
to
done
each
it
other.
like just to be verbal while I was up there, but once I get back down, then kind of on comms, I'll let everybody know that we've got one of those spiders. So Koenig Spuds, I don't know where the hell you got to, but we need to go back up here and take care of this.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Was that an order?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, it was way too tight. I couldn't breathe. I was claustrophobic. So,
Well, when you get up here, it's going to be open. and
Where
then
are
can
you?
do it.
Where did you end up?
All the way at the top. And then there's the spider thing.
Can we get there the normal way and not through the vents? And
This
meet
is
you
gonna be
there?
the fastest way to get there. I'm assuming is just. to
What
get
if we run?
You could run up a like I think there's multiple tiers in your ship. You can run up a tier and hop through a vent that way. Because like the air scrubbers are kind of think of it like a vertical shaft that goes through the multiple levels of your ship. So you can access it from a variety of levels. So yeah, you could do that if you wanted.
Whatever's
Let's do
fast.
that.
Just get your
Let's
ass.
do that, Koenig and I.
Okay.
all right. I was
Open
going to
grate.
strip down to my skivvies and then hop in, but I guess that's a better idea.
Okay. So so Koenig, Spuds, you run past Ripper, who is working at the comms to try to flush this water of something. And so Koenig, Spuds, you start running. Barrett, what are you doing?
Going back up.
Okay. All right. So you start climbing back up. All right. As you climb back up, you notice that the vent shaft is just fully smoking at this point, and you can see fire has started to erupt within this large vent shaft, and you no longer see the strange synthetic spider service kit that you've encountered before. It's also much more difficult to see at this point as the entire vent is beginning to fill up with smoke. Spuds and Koenig, as you get up to the second level and get towards the sort of the central column where the maintenance access is, you can see smoke is already pouring out of it. And it's at that point when you kind of hear an internal alarm go off in the ship. Fire. So you got fire as one, and then air, and you kind of check check a nearby console. So Ripper, you would be at a console. You'd probably be the quickest to get this message. Yeah, there's fire somewhere on the ship.
Out of curiosity, do we have built-in sprinklers or anything in this, for emergencies, fires, things like that?
I don't see anything like that in
Okay,
your
just wanted to check.
inventory of things. You have air scrubbers. That's all I got. Sorry.
Okay, TPK, got it. Okay.
So, yeah.
It's fine. I know exactly how we can handle this fire. It's not a big deal. Everyone get your suits back on. We're just going to pop open the airlock, vent all the atmosphere. It'll smother the fire, close it up. We're fine. We got to go ahead on that, Barrett.
I'm not quite. I don't think there's an airlock right there that can accomplish
It
that.
doesn't. It's a closed thing. Just open it up long enough, it'll get all of it. I mean,
Do you think the ship is built like a submarine? If my memory of like aliens is intact, like it does, like you do close doors behind you wherever you go, I think, to keep compartmentalization. I think.
I don't know what to tell you then. That was my idea, and I think
What was
it's
the
a great
idea?
one.
Just
Oh,
to
we just-
open an airlock and just vent the air
Yeah,
out of the whole
Yeah,
thing.
vent
that's
all
a
the
good idea.
atmosphere.
Yeah, Spuds. That seemed the most logical to me.
I think we're gonna break Jeff.
Too late. Okay.
Barrett is assuming that there's some like fire extinguisher system of some sort that
Barrett's in there and he's gonna get sucked out.
There's
Well, we don't
sure
even know
there's
where the
fire.
fire is.
I'm gonna say there's. Well, you guys like Koenig and Spud. You're looking right at the second level air scrubber maintenance access, and there is smoke pouring out of it. You know
It
it's
could
in
be
there
anywhere. It's a
somewhere.
closed system. It circulates.
So Barrett wants to move forward and try to fix the problem.
It could be anywhere. Okay.
You're welcome, Jeff.
It could be anywhere. Who knows? Okay. What are we doing? We're doing what now? What's happening? We're self-destruct button? Is that what's going on?
I think so.
I think that's what's happening. Okay. Claymore, Abbott, you hear this fire alarm go off. Is there anything in particular that you two are doing as you currently are inside one of the cargo bays, moving stuff around, trying to get that set up as a quarantine zone for Lopez? Is there anything the two of you are doing as you hear this fire alarm go off?
It's a shame that they don't have their toaster dismantling team with them.
Bro, you trying to get me to leave you alone so you could do sneaky things?
No, I am merely observing that I think it would be good if we were with them to help take care of that intruder.
I agree. So let's hurry up and get this shit done and go.
Very well then. So yeah, I'll prioritize making sure that things are safe enough for us to leave Lopez here, and then we'll be on our way to assist them.
Yeah, you leave him in the corner, set him down. You leave, lock the cargo bay door, and you start moving up to kind of chase down the signal. Ripper, do you react at all to like the fact that there's now a fire alarm going off on the ship?
Yes, I am going to take that as a priority over the water.
Okay.
Is there some kind of emergency system? Like, I would assume if you were having a fire in space, you would have some kind of emergency venting or thing.
Maybe
Yeah, I
like
don't
some
think-
halon gas that's heavy enough to push stuff down.
Yeah, I feel like it would probably be. I don't think it would be water. I think that would probably short out too many systems and things like that. So I don't think they would do anything like that. But I'm sure there would probably be like your old-fashioned or even your newfangled fire extinguishers all over the place. So
Can I newfangle it?
yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's stuff. It's just a question of like if you want to grab like a fire extinguisher and just climb up into the vent and just start
Yeah.
spraying around. That's fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure,
Okay.
just like everywhere. Just,
Okay.
not even on the fire. Just, I'm going to spray it all over the place.
Okay, so Ripper is in a random room, no fire anywhere. He's just spraying fire extinguisher everywhere.
No,
All
I'll
right.
be good. I'll crawl up to wherever it looks like the
Okay,
fire
so you
may be
crawl up.
coming
You
from.
crawl up to where Barrett is, and you see Barrett is kind of just staring at this fire, and you're just starting to. Okay, So you just behind her.
Yeah,
No
don't
problem.
mind me.
Okay, Koenig and Spuds, are you still going to do the airlock plan?
No, it
Nobody's
sounds
told
like
us
Mama
not to.
Bear.
Oh, that's
I
true.
guess that's true.
I-
What do you think,
I-
man?
I
Airlock
suppose
it?
we well, I like it. That's what I was thinking as well.
It'll get the job done quick. Sounds like they're down there with fire extinguishers, though. Do we want to risk it or just do the job that we know?
You're the
done?
commanding officer. You tell me.
God damn it! Let's open the airlocks.
Hold on to your butts.
Okay. So while Barrett and Ripper are inside the vent, you're trying to take care of this fire, doing what you can to to make sure it doesn't spread.
Yes, we are.
Claymore and Abbott, you just closed down the cargo bay. You're working up You're kind of working up the central stairs towards the second level where everybody is at this point. Koenig and Spudge, you go to your nearest airlock, which I believe is towards the bridge area, or not quite all the way up towards the bridge, but it's on that same level you're at. So you go over to the airlock. You just want to throw it open.
Check my suit.
We gotta secure ourselves first before we open back into space. Let's
Almost got him.
not be too hasty. Yeah, I'd
connect ourselves to the
tether ourselves or whatever that
Yeah.
is.
Where
tethers
were
going.
were they discussing this at all over intercoms?
No, it's all hand signals to one another.
I was assuming not.
We're doing
They were
that
talking
thing
to each
from
other.
The Expanse where we put our helmets together and just yell at each other.
Hmm.
I would say yes.
I
I
could
didn't
totally
say we
see that,
weren't. Jeff already established it's open comms.
Hmm.
It's open. It's making open comms. It's fine.
If it's
fine.
open comms, then yeah, no, we're gonna use the systems of the ship to try to put the fire out.
That's what I'm doing. This is a system of the ship.
Okay. So Claymore, Abbott, you make it up. You see the smoke coming out. You hear sounds of Ripper and Barrett inside the vent, spraying around some extinguisher. Koenig, Spuds, you open the airlock.
It's tethered in. Yep.
I need Claymore and Abbott to go ahead and make mobility tests. I think Barrett and Ripper, you're inside of a vent. You're probably okay. But Abbott and Claymore, you're down the hall. Go ahead and roll some mobility tests. Okay. You both managed to grab on as suddenly you are lurched off your feet and you are thrown into the wall as the familiar feeling of like kind of decompression or whatever happens, right? And you're kind of thrown and bouncing off the walls and stuff. And you grab on, both of you with your rolls are enough to grab onto something as this entire level's worth of oxygen is now being vented out into space. That's the bad news. I guess. I don't know. That's the good news? I'm not sure what kind of news it is. Koenig, Spudge, you said specifically you made yourselves secure, so you're both secure. Barrett and Ripper inside the vent. You're suddenly kind of... Your balance is sort of thrown off a bit, but ultimately it's not... Like, you just kind of get slammed against the walls and you're easy enough to grab. You don't have to roll anything. But you... Yeah. Time some passes. You get Abbott and Claymore. You watch... This is all happening. What's on comms at this point? Like, what are people saying to each other?
I didn't do it. That wasn't me.
What the hell? I told you guys not to do that.
I
What
don't
are you doing?
remember hearing that.
Is it effectively? Is it doing anything effectively on the fire?
No, totally. It's totally working. It's 100% working. It's not a problem. Uh-huh.
I'm gonna punch somebody in the dick when I find out who did this.
It was Abbott.
Oh god. Okay, Claymore, you notice that the fire, all of it it's gone. It's out. The fire is out. A couple seconds, 10, 20 seconds passed. It wasn't that long. Fire is out. Smoke is mostly ventilated at this point. No one's left the ship. Luckily, Forrester was tied down. Not tied down. He was taped down onto the table. So he's okay. Dawson and Hutch were in the crew quarters, so they're fine. Lopez, you just locked him in the cargo bay, so everything's good there. So yeah, no problems.
Perfect.
And then you close the airlock back up.
Down.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could do this on each level to get at the bad guy out. We could weed him out and suck him into space. What do you think,
That's not a
Koenig?
terrible idea. All right, let's head down a level.
No, but we do need to find wherever that thing got to,
Where was the last place you saw it?
and I'll describe where the sabotage was happening, where the
Yeah.
smoke was, and at the
Yeah, it was
top of the air
basically, don't worry
filtration
about that
system.
roll. Okay, you guys are fine. It was second level. So the level that you're on now, the last place you saw it was up here, kind of ripping through the air scrubbers. Now there is a problem out now, though. A good chunk of air was just vented into space. Your air scrubbers have been sabotaged. So the ability to kind of effectively produce more oxygen is now going to be limited. Really, you have only what's currently in the ship. So you have a finite supply of oxygen at the moment with no actual way to reproduce more. Your water filtration system has been poisoned by 2 strange alien substances. What do we want to do? You guys tell me. I'm just going to
opening
doodle
airlocks.
over here.
That's going to be all of our air. So Barrett is moving forward, trying to locate where this thing got to.
Okay, go ahead and roll an observation test.
2.
Okay. You do notice that it seems to be. It was as the airlocks and stuff were opened up, it kind of got jostled about and then just kind of clung. It looks like to one section of a kind of a pathway down to one of these side vents. You see it probably about 15 feet away as it's starting to now unfold and begin to scurry towards what you think is a bridge section. Yeah.
All right. So on comms, I'm going to tell everybody, get to this location because we need to take this thing out.
Moving
that
to
way?
intercept.
So do you want me to do air scrubbers or the water, or are we just foregoing all of that and dealing
The longer
with
this thing is out here, the more damage it's going to do. It's already messed with the water system. It's already messed with the air system. It's clearly trying to sabotage. So we need to get it gone.
I'm en route to intercept, and I'm confident Claymore is right behind me.
I'll rip his face off, shove it up his ass. Do you have asses?
If someone creates them for us, I do. I have one.
Okay. Koenig,
close enough to shoot
Spuds. Yeah, you can shoot it if you want. Koenig, Spuds, what are you two doing?
Heading where she told us to.
Okay,
Yep.
so the 4 of you are heading towards the bridge. Ripper, you're in a different section. You're in a different level. Actually, no, you're right next to Barrett. So, yeah, it's tight quarters, Barrett. So go ahead and take like a -2 modifier on your shot as it's very, very tight. Try to get the gun up and shoot. Go ahead and take a shot.
Sorry, I didn't get the -2.
Okay, go.
But there were 2 successes and lots of non-successes.
Yeah, but who knows what that -2 could have been? Could have been a success. Just re-roll. Just roll and just like lower your score
didn't
and
give me
something
a
by 2
pop-up
ones.
when I clicked
I know.
on the right
Gotta
one.
Lower
right-click
your
it.
score by 2 and something if you want to just do it manually, and then up the
Right-click it.
score when you're done.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
1 success.
Man, those are loud. Okay. 1 success is you open up on this thing. If you recall from your time inside of the of that Hyperdyne relay station, these things were actually pretty well armored. They were these utility special design service kits, so it does actually have armor. So I'm gonna do my armor roll first.
Oh, damn.
As you'll get you get your free shot off on it, but that's good. So it's got armor. I did not roll anything, so you are good. So it's gonna go ahead and take. It does manage to hit it once as it now tries to dive out of the vent and into the bridge. Let's go ahead and roll some initiative at this point. So we can kind of, we'll say that was like kind of like your free shot for noticing it, and then I'm going to get us.
Or that.
Yeah, no worries. Just gonna throw this all out. Claymore. Ripper, you're a ways away. It's going to take you a whole turn just to get up there. Actually, no, you're not. I keep
No,
thinking you're
she's right
down there.
next to
Why
me.
do I keep thinking that?
She was.
Because I was sleeping.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
All right, so let me roll. Okay. So let's begin. It will go ahead.
Sorry,
Yeah, go
Jeff.
ahead.
I have the fast reflexes now, so I get 2 initiative cards. So I don't know what it's hidden whatever I got for initiative.
All right, let me reset it.
Or am I on
then.
the tracker here?
Let me reset initiative.
It's on the tracker.
I will roll yours twice then. 6. Hang on 1 second. Roll a d10, see if it's better than a 6. I got a 2, so I'm just gonna go ahead and like manually change it to 2 for you. So you'll be 2 now. There's Spuds. Sorry about this. Why won't you let me change it to 2, you stupid thing?
It didn't let me either when I ran Alien. We'll just have to keep track of it.
All right, you're a 3. You're gonna make a 3. All right, Abbott, Claymore, Spuds. The 3 of you are, and who else? Abbott, Claymore, Spuds, and I think Koenig. The 4 of you are rushing down towards the bridge. We'll say Abbott and Claymore, you're a little bit further ahead of Spuds and Koenig, who are over by the airlock. And that's when Abbott and Claymore, you burst onto the bridge, and you see popping out of this vent up here, you see one of those unfurling vent rat thingies kind of starting to pull on out. You can see it's already kind of bleeding what looks like a little bit, as if something hit it. You heard the gunfire going off through comms from Barrett. Abbott, Claymore, and Spuds, you're there in that order. So what do you guys want to do?
Abbott will light the cutting torch and start dismantling the spider limb by limb. So he's trying to, attack it with a melee attack.
Yeah, go right ahead. You're able to get up to it. Go right ahead.
Is armor piercing if that's important? Or
Yeah, I'm going to use one of its abilities to roll mobility to try to dodge. I can roll dodge in melee with this thing because it's so spry and quick. So let me roll that.
Oh, wow.
yeah, I'd say
That's a good roll.
Yeah.
It's a good roll. As you see it kind of coming out of the vent, and you think you have like kind of the jump on it, but as you kind of get up close, it immediately just leaps off and out of the vent and just moves like a good whole 5 feet, like leaping over top of you as you're just trying to cut it with a torch. As it just leaps right over top of you, Matrix style, and lands behind you. It'll move over then to Claymore.
It's not a bad idea, but hold my beer. Let me show how it's done. I'll follow suit.
All right.
So you said this is armor piercing, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let me roll its armor against that. So I don't think it can do another dodge. So all that goes through. How much total damage? That will be enough to break it already. So it'll go ahead and go to 0. Let me hit the injury table to see how it does. She's all... One sec. Why can't I find anything anymore? Critical injuries.
Gremlins.
Injuries on Xenos. Where's my table for...
Because Koenig and Spuds vented all the air out, so it's hard to think.
Mm-hmm.
It is hard to think. I don't know what the hell's going
Everything
on in
else.
this episode. I can't find my table. Abbott, you rolled it from. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. No, I'll take it. That's fine. And so, yeah, go ahead and describe it, Claymore, as you shut this thing down.
I mean, Abbott tries to do the right thing, but of course he screws it up because he's fucking Abbott. But as it jumps over, I grab it by the neck and I just shove the flames starting from the buttocks and rising up. And it says, "Well, they didn't build you an asshole, but I'll cut you one, and then I'll just keep moving up."
And so, yeah, the entire bridge now is just sort of covered in the carnage of this synth being ripped apart, and then kind of comes to a limp, immobile state. Spuds, Koenig, you quickly catch up into the room, and you see that both Abbott and Claymore have already taken care of this thing as it's laying there limply on the ground. Maybe it's twitching once or twice. But
Yeah.
it comes to
Abbott and Claymore.
Abbott and Claymore, sorry.
Yeah, sure.
And so Koenig and Spuds, you come running into the room, and you can see it. So I'll go ahead. So we'll say that's dead. Drop out of combat, drop out of initiative. That was fun and fast. Why did I let you guys use that stuff again? Those things are way too good. Way too good. All right, what do you guys want to do?
Hey, so do you want me on the scrubbers now? I'm gonna say that is because I just got in the room and everything's already resolved.
What sort of sabotage was performed on the scrubbers?
Barrett will describe what she saw.
I mean,
that
they
doesn't seem.
I don't know
That
the
doesn't
specifics.
seem very much like something that could be diagnosed through running through some code. That appears like there would have to be some repairs made of a mechanical nature.
Yeah, from the sounds of it. So you want me on water then?
Sure, go ahead. And anybody that's good with heavy machinery, work on fixing the air scrubbers.
How about Spuds and I take a sweep, see if there's any more friends running around.
Sounds good.
Nice. Please don't open any more airlocks, or at least tell us before you do.
I'll let you know.
All right, so you've got no air. You've got no safe water. Your commanding officer is dead, killed by one of your subordinates. One guy is quarantined in the cargo bay. One guy is taped down. Your pilot is taped down in the galley. Your ship is moving without any sort of navigational control. You have no exterior sensors. What are we doing? I don't know.
Alright.
Like,
I'm heavy
You tell me.
machinery. Like I'm trying to fix our air scrubbers.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and I'm working my way down to the water filtration system. Meanwhile,
Yep.
thinking about the last cup of coffee sitting in the galley.
While
Okay.
they're working on the air scrubbers and the water filtration, I'm gonna see if I can examine the pilot.
Okay. Go ahead and roll observation on the pilot. The rest of you can roll heavy machinery if you're trying to effort some repairs. Koenig and Spuds, if you're doing sweeps of the room of the ship, go ahead and roll observation.
+2. Okay, nice. +2 modification.
Wow.
Every roll's been a stress. Oh, at least
I
Spuds
know.
went with me.
I'm holding together, but you screaming and
I
running
am
down the hallway.
screaming.
Okay.
Ah! I need to decrease my stress.
Come on.
Oh,
All those dice for nothing.
all those dice.
What were you trying to repair, Claymore?
I mean, Mama Bear was asking about the scrubbers. so-
Okay.
Yeah, I did
Alright.
get a success on my heavy machinery.
doesn't
What were you
matter.
trying to repair?
Air scrubbers.
Okay. You only got one success total between
yeah.
the two of you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one success on the water. Oh yeah.
Yeah. One success on the wire. You managed to. Still not entirely sure what the attempt is with the water, but we're gonna say that you backwash it, rerun it, all that kind of stuff. But Ripper, you would know as you're messing around with it. There's no way to be sure because it is a closed system. There is a finite amount of water. It's not like you're producing water anywhere on the ship. That it's hard to tell exactly how much of the water supply on the ship has been tainted by this stuff. But you have done what Barrett has asked, at least. Barrett and Claymore, over the next couple hours, you work on this scrubber. It is a little bit frustrating. It's not necessarily the best thing. You know, you guys really, it isn't your job. You had a crew chief for this, but the crew chief is sort of passed away at a certain point in the past, and so you've kind of just been doing your best filling in the roles. You think you've got it functioning, but after the shift is over, as it takes you several hours to sort of do this, you're pretty positive that it's working, but it's operating at kind of lower efficiency. So like air level is kind of thin within the ship, but at least it's producing and kind of scrubbing oxygen. Abbott, how'd you do on your observation roll?
I failed. No successes.
Yeah, I mean he's got looks like he likely has a fractured kind of a fractured cheekbone, kind of a big swelling of the eye. He's got various strangulation marks on his wrists and feet and other places on his bodies where he has been duct taped down onto various things. He looks to be dehydrated. He's thirsty. And other than that, he's, as far as you can tell, is fine. You don't see any worms in his eyes. You don't see any rash on his skin. Nothing like that.
You appear to be quite dehydrated.
You guys strapped me into a table after I was dragged about the ship by something, and I don't think I had anything to drink in like 7 or 8 hours. So
that is fortunate.
I asked Ripper for some coffee, and she said no.
Well, it's a good thing she didn't give you any coffee. The water has been contaminated.
With what exactly?
We do not know, but we have to assume it is dangerous.
Isn't not drinking dangerous too?
It is less dangerous than what potentially could happen from an unknown substance. If you had some plutonium in your water, would you want to drink it?
I don't know anything about plutonium. I guess that's a no. It's a bad thing, drinking plutonium.
Yes. Would you like to drink raw radiation?
I mean, no, but I also don't want to die of thirst, which is going to kill me faster.
I do not know the answer to that.
I think it's the dying of thirst will probably kill me faster.
Isn't that? I think that's 3 days.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
It is pretty quick. Yes.
And now we're not like you. We can't just get rebooted and everything.
No, I understand that. That is precisely what I am trained in. As I point to my hat that says Corman on it.
Well, can I get let free now, please, now that you've done your inspection?
I wish I could. However, I'm under orders not to. So, what I can do for you is perhaps get some saline solution for you, and that should hydrate you.
Okay. I mean, you say
Those
so.
are-
That sounds delish.
Those are pre-made and stored, so that would not have used this water in order to do that.
Okay.
So I'm going to go and check on the saline, as I just also had an idea for the rest of us.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, you got a med base, so I'm sure you have some. You probably have some bags of saline in there. I don't think you probably don't have too much. You don't have like, it'll probably buy you a little bit of time for sure.
Master Sergeant Marco Barrett.
Yes,
I just realized something after looking over our patient that has been restrained.
yes. How is he?
He is severely dehydrated and in need of saline. And if we get to the point to where we are starting to become dehydrated from lack of water ourselves, saline will help.
Oh yes, that's a very good idea.
We
Check on
currently
our supply
have.
of saline.
Yeah, we currently have, and I tell her the amount of saline we have and how
Sure.
long it should last us. So it is a last resort, but it is one given to patients for extreme dehydration.
That is good thinking. Thank you for that.
I may have personal experience with that.
If only my repairs of the air scrubbers were going as well as your brain is and problem solving the situation we find ourselves in.
Yeah, so I'll administer some saline to him to, help ease the pain of being dehydrated. And say it is the best I can do for now. However, we do not know what all is going on in the ship, and frankly, I believe the safest place for you to be is right here.
You believe the
But
safest
have you-
place is for me to be taped down to a table in the middle of a galley after y'all just opened an airlock and... Okay. And I got my face beat and everything.
Well, you did not fly off the table, did you?
No, I didn't. I suppose that's true enough.
This will all be over soon.
Uh-huh. One way or the other, I think you're right.
Ripper's gonna come over the comms and let everybody know that the water situation isn't as stable as she would like. My suggestion might be that we look at the system here and maybe find an alternative planet, possibly, where we can take some time to repair and possibly hunker down for a little bit.
Don't disagree with that. Abbott, have you been able to do any research on the whatever you pulled out of Ellis?
On the small wiggly thing.
Yes.
No, I
Imagine that's
have
gonna take
not.
some time.
I was going to do that after I was done seeing to the patient that is currently restrained.
Thank you. Maybe that'll give us some information that'll help see what our exposure is going to be if we go land somewhere.
And I will move on to that task.
Okay. In terms of doing the sweep of the ship, Spuds and Koenig, you don't find any other signs of additional sabotage that you haven't already tracked down. You also don't notice any more hidden synthetics anywhere. You kind of do a vent crawl over the course of a shift, kind of doing a deep look through the ship, looking for more and more. As far as you know, there are no additional service kits or any other kinds of synths that you can find anywhere on here. I need everybody to roll stamina, please. As a shift has been completed, as we have... we got some stress heals we can add to the list.
Oh, thank you. Everybody keeps rolling and I lost my roll. Ooh. I failed. Yeah. And I now have a nervous twitch.
Did you want to push or anything?
I couldn't because the only thing I rolled was it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I couldn't.
How'd everybody else do?
2 success.
Everyone else is
Success.
Good. Okay. So Koenig and Barrett failed.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah,
over the course of the last few hours, Spuds and Koenig have been sweeping the ship, getting into the vents, doing like a really, U.S. Marshal, Tommy Lee Jones type search of the whole area, right? Claymore and Barrett have been working on the air scrubbers. Abbott, you've been working in the med lab, examining patients. Ripper, you've been working on water supply. Okay. Let me do one thing really quick. So, we'll start with Claymore and Barrett. So, Claymore, roll an observation test.
Oh no. Okay. Could make it.
Let
Could
me
happen.
know. Let me know how you do.
I did.
You
I
did.
did. You see, give me 11 dice, nothing.
Nope.
Give me 2.
Telling you,
I'm
man.
there.
That's how to do it. Okay. As you look over at your mama bear, you do notice, like, underneath her mask, that one side of her face has just gone this pasty, terrible white. And you can even see that kind of growing out of a couple tiny bits on her cheek. You thought at first it just looked like, like maybe just debris, or his mama bear got a beard. But you can see these dark sprouts have kind of pushed through the skin here and there. Melissa, check
Use
your
that
character
cutting
sheet.
torch.
Check your character sheet, Melissa.
Yep, I got it.
Hey, Mom Bear, I tried to let somebody know about this before, and it went really, really poorly. I don't know how to say this nicely, but your face is pretty fucked, and I think there's worms poking out of it. Not so much here or here, but like right in this area.
I don't know what you're talking about. I feel fine.
I'm sure you feel fine. Would you give me the benefit of the doubt and maybe just take a look for yourself if there's anything reflective around here?
I think it's just, I mean, this stupid water thing went down and I haven't had a drink in like 12 hours, just parched.
Half of your face is white, looks messed up. There are wiggly wormy things coming out of your face. Do you remember how you had Abbott want to research the wiggly wormy things that are
Yes.
contagious?
Mm-hmm.
I remember earlier today you were saying, I don't need to wear my protection. And then you didn't. And now I'm seeing wormy things in your face. I'm begging you, pretty please. Ma'am, just take a look for yourself. What was the same order you gave whenever I called in about Alice?
And you're going to see that she was like holding like some sort of a tool in her hand, and you'll see she sort of just drops the tool. I don't know. You got something shiny?
Ripper's overhearing this conversation. Is there an escape pod or a emergency escape vehicle, for one person to get inside of? And
yeah, you do have very crappy EEVs. I think you have enough for 4 people, and I do believe that none of them actually can travel anywhere. Like, you have I'll look it up again, but I looked it up once before. But your lifeboat, you don't have like one of the fancy lifeboats. You just have like small pods, and you'll just kind of float in space for a bit. I think you might have a transponder, and that's about it for the version that you guys have.
Gotcha. I'll call Abbott. Abbott, you have a mirror with your medical kit, correct?
That is correct, yes.
I'm hoping to help Master Sergeant see the wiggly worms coming out of her face. If you'd be willing to assist with that.
Of course.
I don't have something, I tried using a knife with Alice, and clearly that didn't work, so maybe like an actual mirror.
Yes.
I don't know what
I
to
can
do.
find something that can be used for such purposes. Yes. And I'll look for some form of, mirror or something that's used to see, for.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's plenty of metal in here. You can find something reflective, and plus you have bathrooms, so it's not too difficult. But if Barrett, if you're letting them kind of escort you to something and take a look, I mean, you see it too. Not only that, but like, you don't feel like when you kind of look at it, it looks painful. Like, you can see these extremely dry, kind of cracked cheek, and it just looks like your skin is kind of being broken apart. And you can see these little sprouts kind of coming out from underneath it. Spuds, roll an observation test.
Beep. 2 successes.
You notice something very similar with Koenig. As all across his face, you can see that these small little patches of incredibly dry, cracked skin, almost like Like it's like a desert on his face here and there. He doesn't seem even remotely affected by it, but you can see like this huge crevice where skin has just ripped apart that looks extraordinarily painful. But you can see coming out of it are a handful of these tiny black sprouts.
Hey, Koenig, you should go look in a mirror. You're not looking too hot.
Yeah, feeling fine. Fingers are a little
You got like
tingly.
some
It's fine.
night
I'll tell you
crawlers or something coming out of your face.
We can go fishing with that shit. Let's go. I'm gonna go hit up the bathroom, take a look in the mirror, just head on over to the sink, turn the tap on, stick my head under there. God, I'm thirsty.
Maybe don't take your head covering off. Remember, we want it to remain sealed and intact
Nope.
in here.
Don't drink the water.
Yeah, it's off. I'm drinking.
Okay, so Koenig goes into the bathroom. I don't know, Spud, you can decide whether you want to follow, but Koenig goes.
I'm gonna stand in the doorway and
Okay.
be like, he's taking his head protection off. He's drinking the water. What do I do?
Barrett, Claymore, and Abbott, where did you three end up? Did you go over to the med? Did you go to Abbott in the med bay? Or did you call Abbott to where you guys were working on the air scrubbers?
I would have like kind of started to walk that way and see if Master Sergeant was willing to go, but if not, ask Abbott to come to us.
Barrett, would you have gone with him if Claymore was asking you to go with him?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah. So the three of you are over by the med bay then. And so Abbott, you can easily find some kind of reflective device. So the three of you are in the mid bay. Spuds, you're now blocking the door to the bathroom. Koenig, you're in the bathroom, and it's unisex, by the way. So it's like there's just one bathroom, series of sinks, series of stalls. And Koenig, you're in there. Spuds, we'll say, you can kind of through, I know it's weird because you have your helmet on and everything, but we'll say maybe Koenig left his helmet off, but it's still comms are still on. You can hear the water running.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what do I do? Hello.
That's not use of any of the water is not advisable. In fact,
He's gulping
be
it
lethal.
down.
I would recommend that you remove the officer from the source of water if you can.
Try if you want.
I'm going to step into the hallway, Jeff, and pull out one of my ball buster grenades and toss it in there. I'm sorry, buddy.
Okay.
You're not right. There's something wrong with you.
Okay. So you toss.
It doesn't do any damage. It's a. He's got to roll.
He's got to roll stamina.
Stamina at a -2.
All right, go ahead and do it, Cohen.
It's just gonna knock you out. It's gonna knock you out.
Read the
-2.
card. I'm not sure. I can't remember if the card affects that or not.
It's just gonna immobilize you.
I don't think it does.
No, it doesn't.
I gotta roll stress.
You passed though. You're not immobilized. You're not gonna run.
Oh yeah, I gotta flee. Toss it in.
So which way do you flee, Cohen?
Through Spuds, down the hallway, like thirsty. God, I'm so thirsty.
So you see
I'll go
Koenig.
to the water purifier.
You burst, yeah. So Koenig bursts out of the bathroom, which is on the same level as the med bay and everything. I think the second level is where we say we have all like the utility stuff, cargo bay, etc. So Spud, you said you were already running though, right? You threw it in there and then you ran away. Is that what you said?
Yeah, basically. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So you ran away. Where are
Tossed
you
in,
running to?
I don't know. What are my options? Which way does this hallway go? Like, what?
Do you want to run towards other people or do you want to run somewhere by yourself?
I want to run somewhere by myself.
Okay. Last you heard, the bridge should be. No one was working on anything on the bridge.
Okay.
The bridge could be empty. The mother room could be empty.
I'll go to the bridge. Koenig's my buddy. I'm having a hard time with this.
Okay. All right.
Let's throw a ball buster at my buddy, and he's real sick.
Why don't you take +1 stress for that then? I mean, you just threw a
Yeah.
grenade at one of your
Yeah,
friends.
I
and
agree.
Your best buddy, yeah. Okay. Koenig, you burst out into the hallway. You do not see Spuds, as he seems to have quickly gone away, and you're so thirsty you start running down the central stairs towards the water filtration area. Perfect. Okay.
So how much of this am I aware of? Like that he was gorging himself on the water and all.
It sounded like you heard the water.
He
Yeah.
said it over the
exploding.
comms.
And so then I'll say, Koenig, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I just received a transmission. I believe it is from she who shall not be named. And she has informed me that she wants you to drink all the water you possibly can.
God, I hate her. Is she coming?
She says that if you drink any more water, she will come. Yes. It is only through the avoidance of water that she will not come and visit you.
Okay, I'll shoot her when she gets here, and I go hop in the water tank.
Ripper, were you still down there?
No.
Okay, so you're still down there. That's clearly a yes, you're still down there. So you're still down there as Koenig bursts into the room and pushes past.
Does not splash on me and does not touch to me, and I am looking for the EEV pods things. I woke up, everything is shit. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I need to get the hell out.
Okay, so you see him burst in. He's got his suits off, helmets off, etc. And then you go
Completely naked.
Yeah, he's completely naked at this point.
I won't argue with that.
He's got a
I just
tattoo
got
over his heart. It says "I love Karen."
It is heavily scratched out. Yeah, just running to the buff, doing a cannonball, but I got my little flashlight. I'm just holding it on my face.
Okay. And you start trying to burst into some of the water tanks. Yeah. You're kind of ripping the whatever the hell the water tanks hold them in. Yeah, you're trying to break into them. Ripper, do you do anything or do you just leave?
I don't have a stun gun. All I have is a gun.
Those work pretty well too.
It stuns.
So
shoot him in the leg. I don't know. Just stop what you're doing, or I'm gonna shoot.
Okay. So she says stop it. Yeah. So how do you react, Koenig?
I don't.
Okay.
Master Sergeant Margot Barrett and Claymore, would you excuse me for a moment?
God.
Damn it.
I'm slowly
A
backing
prompt
away
response
from
would be
him,
good.
but I still have my gun pointed in his general direction.
Okay. So you have your gun pointed, and are you backing out of the room? Or are you gonna fire? Like he's literally ripping the.
I must say, it is with all haste that I must excuse myself. Master Sergeant Margot Barrett and Claymore.
I'd say get some shit done.
That was a warning
Okay.
shot.
Even better next time.
It hits the tank. One of the tanks explodes, and water just rushes into the room. Ripper, roll a mobility test.
Oh my god. I need to get the F out.
Abbott runs
Okay.
full speed towards the water containment area.
As one of these tanks just starts leaking out into the middle of the area, Koenig, it's there. You see it just almost like a big burst of just whoosh, just rushing water. You see it in submarine movies where it just whoosh, a big fire hydrant kind of shoots out. You just bury your face in front of it.
Yeah.
Ripper, you're able to kind of step back and avoid getting splashed by it. Abbott, you're running full speed, and you catch up, and you can see Ripper is in the doorway, gun pointed inside, and there's Koenig just getting washed down.
I would suggest you vacate this room immediately.
Totally vacating. Ugh. Ugh.
I'm going to try and drag Koenig to a crowd chamber and throw him inside and turn it
Okay.
on.
Okay.
Even though I know that uses water too. I mean, I think at this point that would actually expose him to less than he is currently accomplishing.
Sure. I think this is contested close combat for grapple. So go ahead and the two of you do that.
You said close combat.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a tie.
I like
I think you can push though, Koenig, if you wanted. He can't.
Nope. Nothing
All right.
extra from pushing.
So yeah, it's just basically a stalemate. You're not able to drag him away. You're kind of, he's slippery now. He's got all this water on him. And so you're trying to grab onto him and he keeps like slicking out underneath it. His whole suit is kind of folded down. So he's got like that undershirt, but is partially ripped here and there. And so you can see the Koenig barrel chest here and there. And like, you just can't quite get him gripped. What is everybody else doing at this point? Just checking in.
Claymore was looking at Barrett's face, so then I don't know what's gonna happen after that.
I don't know what to do for you, ma'am. I know they said don't go in the cryo because it uses the water, but you clearly already have the stuff. And maybe if we freeze you, it won't get worse. I don't think we know enough to stop it here now. And
So I'm gonna say, and Jeff, you can guide me if there's somewhere different. But
Probably not. I don't know what the hell we're doing.
I should. Could it be heading in the direction of like engines?
Yeah, sure. That's second. I mean, I've been treating it basically like all living quarter stuff is like level 1, and then everything else utility wise, like cargo bay, all at level 2. I don't have a full spec. I don't have like a full layout of this one. I did that with the Kalidi Sinum, and then you guys blew it up. So I'm like, that was a lot of work. So I'm not gonna do it again.
So if just trying to see if kind of what I'm in search of would be engines, then that's where I go, is toward engines. So I'm just
Okay.
gonna sort of be like, figure out something with Koenig, and I'm gonna be meandering in the direction of engines.
Okay, so Abbott, you head towards. So Abbott leaves the room, runs down. Claymore, you see Barrett. She leaves.
do you remember on the other ship, we saw the bodies and the horrible things that had happened to them? He'll kind of be following, but trying to keep like a respectful distance. You made me promise not to let you reach a state like that. Do you remember? You made me promise, and you're kind of on a path towards something not exactly like that, but like it's still pretty messed up. I want to help you. I don't understand what you're doing. You just the cryo isn't that way. It's
But I need to go that way. That's where I need to go.
Is there something I can help you with? If there's something important, I'll help you. Because the sooner you get done with what you need to do and we can get you in cryo, the better chance there is of you surviving. So please just tell me what you need to do and I'll help you do it.
I just need, yeah, I mean, you don't, no, I'm going, yeah, engines. That's where I'm going.
Gonna follow, but I'm really concerned.
Okay, fair enough.
Anything happening on the bridge? Any activity where I'm at?
Yeah, roll observation actually. You really?
Oh, I'm pushing that.
Oh, I would hope so. Okay. So, if you recall, the helm and navigation were horribly sabotaged. There's fire in here. Like this, the bridge is majorly screwed up right now. Like you don't have any actual manual control of the ship. Like the only reason the ship got moving was because Ellis had put a command into Mother. So you guys have just been randomly moving. You look at, like, the consoles aren't readable. But Spuds, when you look out the small portal window, you can see there is a ship. It's at a distance, obviously, but you can see something kind of passing by, and it is within visual range. To say it's not like immediately next to you, but like it's in visual range for you. Like with your 4 successes, you can easily see that.
Can I tell what does a ship look like?
You roll. You got 4 successes, so it is most certainly a military vessel. It is. You would need to get into like context stuff at this point to be able to identify what. But you can definitely tell it looks like a military vessel.
But it's not like a weird smooth semicircle kind of
ship
or anything. That's where I was going. I'm like, oh,
it's not a juggernaut. No.
Okay. No. Are the engineers showing up or anything? Okay,
it looks like a blocky military vessel, not as sleek or as advanced as yours, but you guys, you're military, you know, yeah. You've probably been on a frigate
towards
before.
us, or it's just in the area.
Oh, it's coming towards you.
I'm gonna get on the. Well, we got company coming here. There's a ship heading our way, and I don't know who or what they are. They're coming right for us. The military.
Probably the stolen synth. The ship with the synths.
Ripper, you're in charge here now. What do we do?
It's true, actually.
You're the commanding officer.
Get into the pods and wait for their instructions.
Okay, so I looked up the pods for you, by the way. You guys have 4 of them. They are EEV Type 20 series. They each can hold a person. Or excuse me, they have a capacity of 2 to 4. I'm sorry, you don't have multiple ones. It's a capacity of 2 to 4. It's a simple box-like pod with minimal thruster capability. It has cramped seating, no capacity for cryo sleep. It can sustain its occupants for 10 days. You can't land on a planet, and you'll burn up on re-entry. So up to 4 of you could get inside of this.
I'm going to the pod.
Okay, Spuds is going to the pod. You also have other people on the ship, by the way. Just want to remind you.
YOLO.
That's what the straws are for.
Okay. All right. So let's go back to the water room. Koenig and Abbott are struggling with one another. Ripper, you still got the gun. You're in the doorway. What's happening in here?
I gotta get Abbott off me so I can get back to drinking. So I don't know, my skin feels kind of itchy. So I think like maybe if I just flex real hard, I can do something to get him off me.
Okay. All right. So as you flex really hard, so you're just
channeling some muscle mancy. I don't know.
You just pull it instant really fast. Ripper, probably even more than Abbott, who's probably too close to maybe even see it. Maybe you see Abbott, maybe you're so close you can see that there's various patches of skin on Koenig that are now exposed from him like partially ripping some of his suits off, and you can see that the skin, these extraordinarily dry patches which are now kind of coated with water, they start to expand even further, and something erupting from him. You see what looks like these black thorns that just rip out in all directions. You hear them ping, ping, ping off some of the equipment in here. I need both Ripper and Abbott to make mobility tests. Okay. Abbott, you're able, I mean, you think you let go of him, you kind of duck down at this point and behind one of the tanks and use that as shielding as they ting, ting, ting off of it. Ripper, you just jump back into the hallway and you maybe partially close the door and you can feel ting, ting, ting as they all hit. And you can see as you look back in on the ground, there's these those like same thorns that you saw kind of protruding from his face here and there are now laying on the ground in a pile.
Go back to drinking.
Okay. So, Ripper and Abbott, do you want to do anything? That's Koenig's action. So did either of you want to do something?
Ripper, I'm incapable of putting him out of his misery.
I'm gonna come back in, and since he's busy drinking, do the only logical thing I could think of, which is taking my gun and shooting him in the head.
Yeah, go ahead. Pull that.
That's the only logical thing you can think of?
Would that be a coup de grace?
That's the only logical thing I can think of right now.
You go to fire, you step up, and as you get closer, you can see the hair on his head is kind of dropping off here and there as it's kind of coated with some of the water. And those dry patches of skin are also on the head a bit, and like you can see the flaking, the thorns exposed. Go ahead and roll your armor there, Koenig.
Since I stripped down.
Yeah,
Not
and she
gonna-
specifically said the head, so yeah.
Yeah.
You took your helmet off. So it's just a 3, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Nope.
Okay. So the total damage, I think, is what, 2? Damage 1 on your pistol plus another success. So it's 2 points of damage, Koenig, as you shoot him and you see the bullet just go right into his head, but you expected some kind of explosion on the outside, some kind of exit wound. And when you look more closely, you can see that the bullet itself has embedded kind of into his skull and dug down deep into one of those dry patches. And you can see smoke is beginning to sort of drift up from it as it gets kind of coated then with water and like steam popping out from it. And he's still standing.
No human being would be acting in this manner. I would suggest that you vacate this room and I will take care of it. He is no longer human. So I'll take out my blowtorch.
Okay.
Okay,
your-
I'm out.
Okay.
God.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your torch action. That's fine. You get attack. Kona had one, Ripper had one, so you can get one too, and then we'll kick it over to the rest of the crew, see what they're doing.
So yeah, I got 1 success. That would be 3 damage that halves armor.
Yeah, so have your armor. So I think it's just roll a d6, Chuck. Oh,
Yeah.
2 points of damage. How's that do for Koenig? I don't know what he's got.
Oops.
He took 2 from Ripper's
1
gunshot.
out of 5.
So yeah, you coat him with fire. He seems like, I mean, maybe it's cause he's coated in water right now. The cutting torch is maybe less. Maybe it's just that pure extra like film of water is somehow helping him. All that body hair that's now coated with water just seems to also create a natural barrier. Okay.
Sorry.
That's fine. We'll kick it over. Spuds, you're going for the escape pod.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So you are unobstructed. Do you stop and help and get anybody, or you just make a beeline for it yourself?
No, I hear this craziness going on the comms, and I'm just going.
Okay. You get there unopposed. No problem. Actually, let me roll 2 dice really quick. You hear footsteps in the halls, and you can
in front
see
of me, behind me.
Yeah, you can see as you're running towards the pods, like almost like they're thinking the same thing you are. There's one-armed Hutch who now has the kind of synth arm on one side, and then there's Private Dawson, who they're arguing as they're kind of running towards the pod. Hutch is like, "Screw this shit, I'm getting out of here," and Dawson's like, "No, I gotta get Lopez. I gotta come help me get Lopez." And they seem to be fighting over whether or not to go towards the pods or not. And you're there. You're not sure if they've noticed you yet, but you're all kind of near the same intersection, running towards these escape pods.
Hmm.
This is where Matt kills his old character.
I know, right? We're on friendly terms with these guys, right?
Yeah, I mean, Hutch and Spuds are technically on the same crew. Dawson, you took onto the crew because he was a crew member of the Asteria that you saved. You do know there's 4 seats.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll say Screw Lopez, let's get out of here.
They turn around. You can see Hutch is like, that's what I'm talking about. And then both of Matt's characters get on the escape pod. Whereas
Arm in
Dawson, all 4 arms. And then, but Dawson's he's gonna stay and he's gonna run down the central stairs after Lopez, who's in the quarantine cargo bay. There's also poor Forrester, who was duct taped in the galley that you just ran clear past, but he didn't see it. Okay, Claymore and Barrett, let's jump over to you. What's going on with the two of you?
Oh, I'm watching her.
Moving towards the engine.
Okay. You go over towards the engine, Barrett. It's engine room-ish, so it's where you can kind of get the biggest access. It's not like you guys can go to the engine, but the area where you would do the most sort of direct connection from within the ship to anything in the engine, we'll say that's where you're at, sure.
Okay.
Sort of like a coolant tanks and stuff like that to keep the systems cool. I don't know shit about this kind of stuff.
I'm not entirely sure what I do when I get there, but assuming I just feel better when I'm closer there.
So when you go in the room, yeah. So if you head into the, I see what you're trying to do. Okay. Yeah, I see what you're doing. Yep, you do actually feel better. You do feel much, much better as you come into the room. Claymore, you watch, not only is like, you watch her kind of, so in this sort of utility machine area, like there are sections that you have to put on kind of protective equipment for, like if you're going and sort of going into like you have a reactor on your ship basically, right? You can see her just sort of leaning up against that door. Barrett, you can kind of feel a little bit better, but part of you thinks you might feel even better inside.
So, open the door.
Yeah. So yeah, you open the door. You see the lights, Claymore, as they begin to kind of like, there's an emergency. This door's, it's like, again, it's one of those airlock things, like one door opens and then there's kind of the protective gear on the inside, and you see Barrett kind of step into that chamber.
Mama, you have to stop. You're gonna hurt yourself.
No, I'm already feeling better, and just I'm gonna be even better inside. It's great. I wasn't feeling so good. I'll admit I wasn't feeling so good, but I'm feeling better now, and I'm gonna be even better.
So as she closes the door and she's like looking at you through her mask and she's closing the door into this room, you can see her face is just broken out like a teenager, just all these spores or these spores and thorns are just starting to peel, and you can see they're actively coming out, like ripping chunks of skin. They're just flaking and falling up against the interior of her mask. And then the door closes.
The pain on Jeremy's face.
I know, right?
I'm glad that you feel better. Maybe you should just. That's fair. Maybe just sit and take a second to take a breath. I don't want you to see me crying, so if you could just look the other way, that'd be good.
But I feel better, so. No need.
You're not better, ma'am. You're so much worse. You're completely eaten up. Doesn't.
I'm
Okay.
feeling good.
Okay. Think about it. It's fine. Think about it. Yeah.
Claymore's just. So the door is not like locked or anything. Like she's just closed it.
It's I think of everything like submarine doors, like the classic submarine, like close and spin, because that's what I remember from Alien, and so that's just how I envision it in my mind. So that's why I think she's
hand
done.
on it. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Think. Well, I'm not gonna let you sit in there by yourself. If this is how you want to go.
I mean, I wasn't. I mean, you were saying that I wasn't feeling well, and you were right. I wasn't feeling well, and so now I feel better. Like, I don't know if you're gonna feel better, but I'm feeling better.
Is this on open comms?
I would imagine so, because we're on other side.
Yeah.
We're on other sides, opposite sides of a closed door.
Yeah, I always feel like unless you guys specifically say otherwise, I just assume things are on open comms.
Yeah,
just
I don't
for
think
ease
Claymore
of
would have thought
play.
to take it off comms.
Claymore, I would beg you to not go through with what the context of your words are saying.
Okay. Well, so Claymore, as you got your hand, we'll say your hands
My
on
hand's
the door,
on it. Yeah.
and we'll cut, and then you can think about it as we do a few other things, because there's some stuff that might change your mind here. So we go back to the we'll go back to the escape pods. The escape pod Spuds, you and Hutch are strapping in. Ripper, what are you been running up here, or are you still down with Abbott and
no,
Koenig?
as soon as I shot him in the head, yeah, I ran off.
Okay, so you run off. Or where are you running to?
To the escape pod.
Okay, you are the commanding. You are. I mean, at this point, everyone kind of are looking. You are actually commanding officer at this point, technically highest ranking. That seems to still have their wits about them. You pass by Dawson. He's one of the Marines that you all picked up on the Hyperdyne moon, and he's running down, and he sees you running up, and he's like, man, Spuds and Hutch, they're taking the coward's way out. They're in their escape pods. I'm trying to go help get Lopez. Don't let them leave. Let me get my buddy, and then we can go. And okay, just don't let them leave.
Look, from what I saw, you don't want Lopez. Just go to the escape pod.
No, he's my best friend. He's gonna he's getting
That
married
skin
or something.
condition? No, the skin condition. Go to the escape pod.
There's so many lotions these days. He'll be fine. It's just a rash. Why is everyone? He's not used to being in space with helmets and things and stuff.
You haven't seen what I've seen then.
So you can choose. Do you want to command him? Do you want to? Or are you just straight? Or do you want? It's manipulation or command. I would say. Like, it's up to you which way you want to go with this. Okay. Let me see. Chuck, you statted out the other guy, right? You statted out Lopez.
Yeah.
You didn't. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
This is Dawson. I'm just gonna use Lopez's stats because they're basically the same guys. This is just contested. Okay, that's 0 successes. He kind of looks at you, and he looks back down the stairs, and he looks at you. Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It's now or never.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And then, yeah, the two of you start running back up the stairs. Spuds, Hutch, you're still firing up this escape pod. Like, as you're getting ready to close the door in the escape pod, Ripper's hand cuts into the door. There's 2 more seats, and there's Ripper and there's Dawson. What do you do, Spuds?
Their skin isn't flaking, falling off. There's no black spores coming out from what I see on either of them.
Yeah, roll observation.
Okay. Oh, I don't know. I rolled so many times. 3 successes.
Okay, yeah. Sure. Yeah, you look at them. You haven't stripped them down completely, obviously, and they're in gear, right? But you don't see anything on their faces the way you saw with Koenig. Nothing like that.
Heavy sigh. Well, come on in. That's 4. Opens the door.
You open the door. Ripper, Dawson.
Claymore, what's your ETA?
I'll be there in just a minute.
I'm counting.
We don't
But-
have just a minute.
Suppose you hear that and you look at the seats. There's 4 seats in here, and there's 4 people.
Doing the math, I'm gonna go back to initiating the launch sequence.
Okay.
I
Do
didn't
what
give
you
you
do.
permission to do that.
Oh, look who's in charge now.
Hey, is that an order?
Why, yes, it is.
What do I roll to resist?
Just roll manipulation back, yeah.
I don't think so.
Depends on how you panic here.
I'm keeping together.
Dang it.
I'm calm. Cool. I go. I can't do it, ma'am. And just keep plugging away and
Yeah.
keep launching
Claymore,
that pod.
you need to get here right now.
All right. Mama Bear, you feeling good?
Yeah.
Feel great, actually. You feel like you've had 100 B12 shots just coursing through your veins right now.
Right where I need to be.
Yeah.
All right, then. I just want you to know that I appreciate everything that you've done for me. And I love you very much. And I made a promise to you, and I'm going to keep that promise. And I'll open the door.
Oh.
And
Okay.
I'll level with the flamethrower.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Sequence. Start.
Okay.
She made me promise not to let her.
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll your flamethrower attack. And then there's
Oh my
something else
God.
I gotta do for you too, actually.
I assume I should probably give myself a stress for that.
Absolutely. Stress for
Okay.
that. Oh boy.
I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry.
I did. Yeah. Yep. Those were words I said.
Oh,
Oh shit.
Two successes on armor. If that
Did you
has any
roll?
effect.
Is the flamethrower? Is it armor piercing? I don't remember.
I've
I
honestly
think it's
never used it
halved.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
what I
think
was
it's
wondering.
Halved.
I know the
against-
cutting torch is. It should be in there. It should. I think those
Okay.
things should be punched in. So just
It's,
check that.
it just says fire intensity 9.
Okay, so yeah, you're rolling. You roll your.
It doesn't say
so-
anything about armor or anything like that.
So it does fire. Okay, so the attack hit, and then it's fire intensity 9. So roll. So I guess it's you roll 96s, and that's how much damage it does. I understand fire intensity. You just roll the amount of die that is, and then however much you do is the damage you do.
Okay. So do extra successes mean more dice rolled or just added on to the end?
I don't remember how incinerator units work. It's been so long. I'm sorry. Matt, do you remember it all?
In a while since I ran this as well. I think it's you
Yeah.
add an extra die for each success when you're rolling your
Okay.
intensity, fire intensity, or whatever it is.
So
do
if
you
my
wanna
push
push?
got me an extra one, it would be 10d6.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh goodness.
Well, I think it's you would roll 9, and then you'd add your successes to whatever you rolled from the 9 die.
Okay. I'll do that. I'll put in 96 then.
Okay, so you got 2 total, and then you roll your 96, and so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 2. So that's 6 total damage, I believe. Right? 4 plus the 2 from your attack roll. And your armor manages to, and you took the bonus from that.
Yes.
Okay. And how much did you do for your armor roll?
2 successes.
Minus, so 4 points of damage to you, Barrett. How does that work out for Barrett?
I am double checking. That's all I've got.
Okay. So you set her on fire.
Takes me to 0.
You see, you just
God.
burn right through her suit. You take a look, and you stare down at her, and she is kind of like the suit itself has kind of been burnt away, and you can see where her skin used to be is now mixed with this blackened, torched suit. But you also notice underneath it this kind of hardened, like brown gray root growth that's much bigger than the sprouts that you've been seeing in her face. That's kind of cooked underneath there too. You think, from looking at her, she doesn't seem to be breathing. You don't see any movement. You think she's dead.
I'll give it one more, even though she's down. I'll do another raising.
Okay. Go ahead and roll, and to take a point of stress too, by the way, for this. I think it's fair.
Okay, more stress.
Okay. That's such a good one. So since he spent this extra time flaming her not once, not twice, he's been gone a lot longer than you were hoping, Ripper, and he still hasn't come. Spuds, you are ready to punch this thing. You one more button and you guys are detached. What happens on that?
Hit it.
We're gonna go to the wall. Okay.
Hit the button.
Okay. And you guys are away. I don't know whether Ripper's happy with it, but the command, like the manipulation roll failed. He hits it, and in the water room, Abbott and Koenig, what's happening here?
Abbott's still on a mission to put Koenig out of his suffering.
Okay.
Or if there is anything left in Koenig, because he is obviously not human.
You know, that torch reminded me I'm awfully chilly.
Yeah, you would be now. You're down to 0 health though too, aren't you? Didn't you go down to 0? Or you're at 1? Okay, yeah,
Well,
you would be very with the water
maybe.
on you. You're in space. It's not like there's a HVAC unit in here giving you a ton of heat. So yeah, you would be pretty cold in here for sure. Absolutely.
Well, I do know one place on the ship that's always warm.
Okay.
Excuse me there, Abbott. I need to go for a little walk.
There's some signs of sentience in this new creature, in this new life form. However, it is not possible that it is human. And I will run after whatever has taken possession of Koenig, and I will try to kill it.
Okay. You chase after him. You're just going to use your torch, Okay. Go ahead and roll it.
Oh.
He's just too slippery. This soaking wet seal of a man. He's just running out of the room. And you turn, you fire. Okay. As those of you that are in the pods are kind of drifting away, the ship that has been closing in on the chum bucket is now even closer, and to the point where it's beginning to eject this docking umbilical, and you see this tether just shoot out from it, and eventually adheres to the airlock on the exterior of the chum bucket itself. But you guys are now just drifting. You have basic thruster movement, but you don't have any faster than light travel or anything like that. One of the two of you make a piloting test to see if you can try to pilot this thing in such a way as to not be detected by these. And I'll say this: Buds, make a piloting test. Ripper, make a comm tech test to see if you can try to not only move in a fair way, but also try to keep your kind of transponder signal from emitting. Okay. Ripper, you're on the console. You're you're doing your best to just sort of jam signals. You know that the consoles on the bridge of the chum bucket are all fouled up, but you've limited access here, but you're doing what you can to make sure that, like, the automatic SOS beacon that emits from this thing, you shut it down. But You left your pilot duct taped to a table in the galley. Spuds is a forward observer. He takes the controls and he's trying to thrust around, and this thing is just you're moving around like you're a balloon with air getting let out of it. Just and you're holding on. Everyone's kind of bouncing off the walls here and there.
Is Matt's other character really good at piloting?
No, they're both forward.
I think
they
they have the identical stats. I think I just like copy and pasted it over. Yeah.
Dawson's also just a Marine too. You guys had a pilot. So you're sure that you've managed to cloak your signal. You're just not sure whether the erratic nature of the pod movement might have drawn attention. You're not sure yet. Back on the ship, on the chum bucket, unbeknownst to all of you, people are getting on to or coming through the airlock at this point. Koenig, where are you running?
Reactor room.
Okay. Koenig, you run to the you run into the reactor room. And you see Claymore, who is kind of cleaning out, like kind of maybe replacing the canister, maybe just finished the second torching of Barrett. Claymore, you turn around, you see like the bare-chested Koenig like run into the room. He's got like a bullet wound in his head. He's got what looks like torch runes on his body. He's covered in water. He's dripping, soaking wet. He's got bursting out of his skin in various patches all throughout. You can see what looks like these tiny sprouts and stuff that are coming out of him. And chasing him right on his heels is Abbott.
Excuse me there, buddy. I'll run up to the door and start opening it.
He's contaminated.
So
He's
Claymore
no
tries to
longer
put
human.
past you.
Promise to tell Karen that you always hated her.
I'll burn him too.
No.
I mean, I made a promise to Mama Bear. I'll carry it to you too.
So he pushes past you, try to get into the room, and you turn and you go to torch Koenig. And over the shoulder of Koenig, you can see the torched body of Barrett shifting and beginning to become mobile once more. Meanwhile, Abbott, you hear footsteps behind you, like hurrying. And as you turn around and you look, you can see the familiar faces of numerous Poly and Paul model Hyperdyne synthetics that are behind another figure that is unfamiliar to. Actually, Abbott, roll an observation test. You see the strangest thing. You haven't seen one of these models. They haven't been in circulation in years. As he has this sort of strange, like, cowboy hat tipped over onto the side of his head. He's got what looks like a 6-shooter in his hand. And as he lowers it and points it at you, the martial law unit says, "Don't worry. Mother loves you."
Oh,
And
great.
that is where we'll end for tonight, as we're a quarter after, and we'll stop there.
Oh my gosh.
There's more? I thought that's the
There's
end.
got to be more now, and we could end. That could totally be the end right there. I feel like that could be the end of this chapter. We pick up on the rest of it at some other point, but we'll talk about it. We'll see if we want to keep playing with that.
God.
But I could go either way with it.
That's an amazing end right there.
That is a really good end.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, I like that.
Fade to black.
Yeah.
Oh,
Virtual hug for Jeremy from everyone.
Aw.
Oh my god.
For a second there, I thought you were gonna go in with her and be like, "I'm not gonna leave you alone." Like, I open the door and I'm like, "Oh, is it gonna go in? We're in this together."
Oh my gosh.
What the hell
Oh,
happened
man.
tonight? Oh my god.
I don't know.
The spider destroyed things. And then we
I
tried to fix
showed
it.
it to you, and you're like, I'm gonna run away first.
I mean,
I
I
like
woke
things.
up, things went to shit. I don't know.
I did good putting the fire out. That's what counts.
You and
Good.
Spuds. Fantastic. Fantastic job putting the. I was like, okay, maybe they'll just suck everything out into space. Oh,
I was hoping to
boy.
see like face huggers fly by. I thought you were like set up a trap for us. We open the panel, you're gonna jump out at us.
No, there's others. See, that's the thing. Like, man, there's more we could do. Like, it is a pretty good end. Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, end of chapter. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is basically becoming like our own little version of the alien universe. So,
Well, that's
yeah.
Chuck and I in chat are like roots. We've heard of roots
Yeah.
and people. We know about
Everything
that.
ties together. Everything's in a row. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's like an I'm treating it like an anthology series. Like it's kind of like what's it called? Like American Horror Story and stuff, where like the same actors come back every season. Whatever. Do we want to call that the chapter end? That felt pretty good actually.
Felt like a good
felt
end.
like a
It's a
end.
good
Pretty good
ending.
end.
Felt like
I
a
think
good
that's a good
cliffhanger.
ending. It is a clear. Well, let's call that ending. Yeah, let's call it the ending of the chapter, which means then we're gonna take I feel bad now. We're actually gonna take a small break from Alien, as we've been playing for over a year, pretty much at this point. So I think we're gonna take a small break, just a break. I have tons of ideas and stuff I want to do in the Alien universe, and now I have even more. I have a whole fucking system with so many things. You guys have no fucking clue how much shit I worked on today that we never ended up using.
That's the way it always goes, Jeff.
I was like, I was telling Melissa, I'm like, yeah, I got these like little procedural things for if you guys go here to this juggernaut, we can kind of do that. If you go on one of these planets, blah, 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 you guys burn each other and you try to vent each other out into space. Like, I just love the fact that there is, like, the freaking pilot is strapped with duct tape in the galley. This poor freaking guy. He's just like, I'm just fine. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, but yeah, they all tie together in some way. Like, you don't have to watch like one chapter to understand the next, but like there's definitely echoes of certain themes and concepts and stuff. I'm amazed that we didn't get to an actual xenomorph. I had those ready to go too. Some of that.
You know, I have to say the worst part is he's strapped to the table with the last cup of coffee.
He just really wants that. He's like looking over.
Yeah.
Just
Like
want that
right
coffee.
there, but he just can't reach it. Like, I'm going out, drinking this coffee.
You know what's really funny is that they didn't even pour the stuff into the water filter. It was all a bait. It was all just a bait. That's not true. They
Water's
poured
all
it into
fine.
the water. Oh, water's really bad. The water's very bad. Water's very
Tasted
bad. It's-
fine to me.
yeah, you can't even really tell because it was like in Prometheus, it was just like that one tiny speck in the drink that got him, and so there's like a whole mess load all throughout yours. And plus, there's both of them. There's both the black and that's my contribution to the alien universe. White goo. Who would have thought, right? So yeah, we're gonna be making a shift. We're gonna do a short break. Well, I mean, I don't know how long it's gonna take, but we're gonna play some Deadlands, I think, in the interim. Kind of taking a little break from Alien. As the crew, we've been playing it for a long time. I think we're gonna take a small break, do some Deadlands. So we're gonna do some cowboys and weirdness in the Old West. So horror and zombies and demon bulls and stuff. As we're gonna play through some of that. And we'll be back later though with more Alien, especially if the next Splat book comes out sometime this year. We'll jump on that pretty quickly because I'm very excited to do some stuff for that. But yeah, we'll take a little break. But why don't we go ahead and do closing plugs for everybody else? Last little roundup. Koenig, Chuck. Sorry, that's your name, not Koenig. Chuck.
Yeah.
What are the Defenders doing this week?
Let's see. Wednesday, we got some Pathfinder 2nd Edition over on twitch.tv/Defenders of Kobold. Friday, we're doing some Shadowrun at 10 p.m. Central. And then we got a double header on Saturday. Saturday at 1 p.m., we're doing 5th Ed Shadow War over on Grim and Perilous Plays. And then Saturday night, we'll be back on Defenders for some The Darkest House. Yeah.
Yeah, where I am even more batshit crazy than Koenig and Barrett are in that game, voluntarily so. It's pretty fun. Jen, what do you have going on Pixel Power?
Right now, we are just playing Tribes of Midgard. I am hoping to start up a second stream during the week, but kind of depends on how sleepy I am when I get home. Sorry, guys,
enough.
I have a job now. Requires my time and attention.
Yeah, I just ignore mine, is what I tend to do. You know, I was in a 6-hour meeting this morning that nothing happened. Let's see. Bottom row, Adam, what do you got going on?
Oh, got a lot going on. Going to be playing Tribes of Midgard with Chuck and Jen tomorrow on Grim Perilous Plays channel and Pixel Prowler. And then at least 4 of us. No, 3 of it. 4 of us will be playing on Grim Perilous Plays channel for Shadow War. I keep including Jen, but I forget she's not. She's normally a part of the group, but she's not in this one.
Yeah, I was like,
So.
Is it 5? It might actually be 5. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So looking forward to playing more of that. And trying to repeat everything I hear, along with mixing it with pop culture references for my character, just like fun stuff. And that's what we got going on.
Awesome. Matt, you starting a game this week.
Yep. I just want to point out this is the first chapter I didn't die.
Yeah. You got 2 characters out. You literally escaped with 2 characters.
Yep. They're sitting
2
beside
more than
each
some
other
people have.
in the pod.
4
holding
whole
hands.
arms.
We're holding hands.
Yep.
Counting our arms and all of our
amazing.
fingers. I'm starting Axtoon Cthulhu on Garblight Games this Thursday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're doing the Romanian Imperative adventure.
Yeah. Jeremy and I are in that, so that'll be fun. Yeah.
So cool.
I'm going to cast a bunch of spells and get everybody killed. It's going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
Thunderstorms, all of a sudden. Jeremy, you got anything?
I'm just hanging out with you awesome people, and I'm going to go crawl into a corner and cry for a little bit soon.
Yeah. I mean, I've been getting messaged like crazy by Melissa, like, we're never playing with him again. He's not playing dead. Like,
That's fair.
That's not true.
fair.
Of course it's not true. Let's see. For Melissa and I, we are returning to Impossible Landscapes on Friday. Very excited. The final chapter of Impossible Landscapes. The agents have reached Carcosa, sort of, kind of. And we'll see if any of them get out of Carcosa. Probably not. So very excited for that. Let's see. Saturday, One Ring. We're going to be in the dead city of Fornas the Rain. Dead Man's Dyke, Norbury to the Hobbits of the Shire, all sorts of different things. Quiz me, Matt. Quiz me. And then on Monday next week, we're going to be playing some UVG, and Chuck is going to take his new battle ass out for a swim in a Mercury Lake. So that should be good, I think. Right? And then in 2 weeks, I think we'll probably start up something with Deadlands. So yeah, come back in 2 weeks' time. We'll be doing something with Deadlands then. So we'll be back to Alien later this year for sure. So thanks to everybody who hung out. Thanks to all of you who've been watching throughout the whole thing. And I'm gonna throw us on the end screen. We'll find somebody to raid, but have a good night otherwise. So good night, everybody.
Good night.
Night.
Bye.